Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Sophie Jordan Collins and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings and Sophie Jordan Collins.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable After Dark show. I'm Sophie Jordan Collins, your co-host, along with Ted Ings, and today we are joined by Alan Bass of the All-American Ford in New Jersey.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Alan, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thank you very much, Ted. Thank you, Sophie.
Great to have you here. And first time on the show, I want to thank our exclusive sponsor for the show. I have not been doing a good job in giving them shout outs. It's BG Products, partner beyond products. So grateful to BG for all that they do in sponsoring the After Dark show, the pop-up events. Sophie, we've been on the road and we've been going everywhere with BG. So grateful for all that they do. So Sophie, you don't know Alan Bass all that well, do you?
Not quite yet. I do not.
Okay. All right. And I see I was supposed to get dressed up tonight, Alan.
I'm sorry. I'm still in my uniform.
You made a promise on our last After Dark show. You said you would dress up, Ted.
I'll have it for Wednesday. Got to cut me a little slack with all this traveling, all these pop-up events that we've been doing. It's been a little bit crazy. So, Michelle McLean, welcome, and good to see you in the chat. And Tony Owens as well. Michelle, did you get that horse yet? I heard you were in the market. So, did you know she was looking for a horse?
Not a house, a horse.
Well, maybe something like that. So, David Lucas, yep, I saw you with that hat on out in Australia. So, yeah, and big welcome to Alan as well. So, yes, you will see me as an Avenger, Michelle. There's no question about that. All right. So, the big Avengers event, Sophie, is coming up very soon, and I think we're 4 weeks from today, right?
Yeah, November 13th through 16th. Less than 4 weeks away, Ted.
We are less than 4 weeks away. Ed Roberts, I see Sophie there. Sarah Van Tyne, the great Tully Williams, going to be on the show. And Alan Bass is going to be joining us as well. And Michelle McLean, of course, on the show as well. 4 days, consecutive days, Monday through Thursday. It's the week before Thanksgiving. I can't believe we're talking about Thanksgiving already. But we're doing the recordings for the show, Alan, and there are people on there actually wishing each other happy Thanksgiving. So it's crazy. It's nuts.
Crazy.
All right. So you are in my alma mater in Hackensack. Tell us about All American Ford and what you got going on there.
So I'm the service manager for the Hackensack location. We're killing it. We're hustling. We get a lot of cars in, doing a lot of service. Our CSI numbers are through the roof. We're doing a lot of mobile service, and we're killing it every day in and day out, killing it.
And you know what's unique about the location of your dealership, Alan? You're not on a highway. You're on a slow River Street, slow moving traffic, a lot of lights, and people pull in, and you do a lot of business there.
Huge amounts of business.
Yeah, where there's a lot of highway dealers and. In a big high volume market in Bergen County.
Yeah, 100%. You got Route 17, Route 4, and then there's us on River Road in Hackensack. And we're always really busy, always writing between 60 to 80 cars every single day.
Wow. So how many service writers and how many techs are there?
There is 4 advisors. We have a truck center as well. And then we have probably about 25 technicians combined between the two stores. The 2 locations in Hackensack.
Where's the other location? Where's that?
It's about 3 miles down the road in it's South River Road. So it's down where the old FBI building was. It's right down there. That's where
it's down towards 46 and towards 80, or
yes, it's right past 80.
So it's past the jail.
Yeah, right past the jail. Right past the jail. And we're crazy busy there too. We're probably 2-3 weeks out on work there. That's how busy we are.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So Sophie, there was a great place we used to go for lunch there. Cubby's. I don't know if you've been there, Alan, but
still there.
I know. It's got great hot dogs and a great lunch place. And the pretty big menu, right? So
Yeah, it's huge menu.
how do I know this? Okay. All right. So Sophie, we had a pop-up that we did together with Sarah out in Michigan. You got to meet Ali Rita, also #1 automotive salesperson in the world. And that's a pretty good experience going up to Northwood University, I think.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, speaking with Ollie was awesome. The pop-up was incredible. We had amazing speakers. It's a good time.
So we had another one that we filmed last week, Alan. It was in North Carolina, and we're hoping to get that out on Wednesday, but we may not. It might be Thursday or even Friday because there's a couple special segments in there. We're doing a new format for the pop-ups, this man on the street format, where we're actually going out onto the lot and going into the shop, seeing how things work, and there's a lot of extra editing required. So I don't quite know yet what day that's going to come out, but it will be this week. So
That's
a lot
cool.
of work involved there.
Really cool.
Everybody's gonna have to follow along and stay tuned.
I
See
know
when it comes out.
we're going to need more updates, more announcements, Sophie. So, all right, Automotive Avengers, Alan. So, okay, a little bit of history. So you are at All American Ford in Hackensack. I guess you know Jim Sabino because I
Yes,
see
sir.
him up there in the premise location as well.
Yeah. I report directly to him. So a little history on myself. I started in the business working for Ramsey Auto Group, washing cars. Worked with them for about 12 years. Saw a job application, job ad out there for a prep manager at Manhattan Ford. Took on that position. Worked my way up to service manager, from service manager to operations director. And then they Ford Motor Company shut the store down. Went to work in Bay Ridge for a little while. Stayed there for about 11 months. And then me and Jim started talking. And he goes, "That's kind of a far commute for you, don't you think?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you know what it is." And one day I was sitting in about 4 hours of traffic. And I said, "You know what, Jim? Your offer, I'll take it. When do I start?" So I've been with All American for about 6 years.
Linda Hanson, I see you in the chat. I wonder if any of the consulting work you do is ever in the New York tri-state area. Tony Owens, I know you're traveling as well this week. Happy Monday to Linda as well. So, Alan, that Ford store in Manhattan, I mean, I remember that a monster store. How many stories was that? Because that was a big place, huge.
It was 9 stories. We probably had about 100 technicians, I would say.
So you had to go up, right, to get your car serviced.
Yeah. There was corkscrews on both sides of the building going up.
Okay.
It was wild.
And I mean, that had to be a monster to work for. I mean, and the hours you would have put in there, they were open on Saturdays and open on Sundays or no?
Yeah, so we would typically work. I would say I would get there. I was one of the first guys there. I was there between 5:30 and 6 o'clock every morning, and I would probably leave 9, 10 o'clock every night, Monday through Friday. And then Saturdays we worked probably from 7 o'clock in the morning to about 6 at night. So I was the first one in, last one to leave all the time.
That's a killer schedule.
Yeah, did that for 12 years straight.
Oh my God. Wow. I mean, that's I mean, Sophie, in New York store to work in, that's no easy task. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that's busy, Alan. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was nonstop. And then if we had an event on a rooftop, which we had a lot, we were there until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning doing that. So we would work from 5:30 in the morning until 2, 3 in the morning, and then be expected to be at work the following morning at 6.
Yeah, just stay. So that was owned by Ford Motor Company or
Yes.
no?
Yeah, it was Ford Motor Company on that store.
Okay. So, and you mentioned Bay Ridge. Give Sophie some of the lay of the land. Where's Bay Ridge located? Just so she
Bay Ridge
knows.
is about 45 minutes south of New York City. So I would probably drive. My commute was probably an hour and a half on the way in, 3 to 4 hours on the way home every night.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not fun.
This is when I say that you people in the automotive industry are superheroes. This is what I'm talking about. You guys work crazy hours. I don't know another industry that works hours like that.
Yeah.
Props to you. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Factoring in drive time as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Alan, a lot of that is probably still the same, I would imagine, in those New York stores. Other parts of the country are starting to change that. There's this new phrase. Robert, I've heard you talk about it as well. Work-life balance that we
Right.
haven't had in the car business, but Alan, that is slowly coming into the car business.
Yeah, 100%. We see it now with the newer technicians coming in. They don't want to work 6 days a week. They want to work, 4 days a week, and we work with that. Obviously the younger talent that's coming in, we want to do the right thing. We want to get them in the door and get them working and do what's right for our employees at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's a tough life.
Mhm.
And Sophie, you were out to see Tully in Sacramento, and I couldn't believe it. But his service writers, Alan, the service advisors, they all go home at 5 o'clock. They close the store up early, and I mean that's like the regular hours now in these 10 European luxury dealerships.
That's awesome. But not here in New York. I mean, those guys are open until 8, 9 o'clock at night.
So we talked in the green room about a mutual friend that we have. We have a lot of mutual friends, I think. We mentioned Roy at Ford Motor Company, Roy Gabonsky. Okay, great person. Mark Mickens then too, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Mark worked at Mercedes-Benz of Paramus. Okay.
Yes.
But he also was an owner of Route 23 Ford.
Mm-hmm.
So I live like right behind Route 23 Ford. That's where I live.
That's awesome. He was like the vice president, correct, of the store?
He was an owner. He sold his interest. He was running fixed ops.
Yeah.
He might have took some of those city contracts and the fire department contracts from Manhattan, I think.
I'm sure he did.
All right. So Brian Benstock, another name that comes to mind. I don't know how well you know him, but I know you know of him for sure. At Paragon Honda in Queens, New York. What a monster store that is.
Crazy. The numbers that those guys produce are awesome.
These New York stores. Okay. I mean, it's I would have trainers, Sophie, going in to train those stores, not recently, but even like 10, 15 years ago. And they would go into a store like that and they would come out 4 days later, Alan. And these are very reputable, strong trainers from all over the country, Florida, Texas, people like Linda, okay, who goes in and does that kind of consulting. They would all come back on a Friday and I'd say, how did it go? And they would say, we don't ever send us back there. We never want to go back. It was tough. It was a real tough grind, even to go in and train them.
I think they were going 24/7 for a while, weren't they? I think they were doing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for a while.
Yeah, I believe today they're 24 hours a day. Okay, Sophie, no downtime, Monday through Friday. But I think on weekends, I don't think they go the 24 hours on the weekends anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
They have some work-life balance, all right? You got so, that's a tough gig. And I grew up in New Jersey, right? Not the easiest automotive retail community, but nothing like New York. I mean, we would look at that and say, how do they do that?
Yeah, it was interesting. Very, very fun. I learned a lot in Manhattan. A lot of stuff in Manhattan.
Yeah, and you see a lot too, right?
Yes, 100%.
Tony Owens, you've been in the business a long time. I know, certainly as long as myself and Alan and Michelle Longo probably is, yes, doing that as well. But I think it's a little different at Longo in El Monte, California. Sophie, that's in your territory. That's the biggest Toyota dealership in the world, Longo Toyota in El Monte, and they've been on the show now a number of times, including Greg Penske, who owns the store, and Doug Ero, who's the general manager and president now. Linda, you're right. Brian is on a different level than most retailers. So, Alan, what are you seeing right now happening in retail? What do we need to be aware of? I know you've been this big push into mobile, and I see Jim's face everywhere now on these videos, on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. I hope it doesn't go to his head.
No, so mobile is huge right now. The customer experience is huge. I came from a mobile detailing background. So when mobile came out into the car dealership business, I was like, this is a no-brainer. People are going to love this. So like my wife, for instance, if she needs to get her car serviced, she's running around with my son all over the place. If the car's here at home, they come right to the house, fix the car, and you're done. We're not interrupting anybody's day by coming to the dealership. So it's a no-brainer. It works. and our CSI scores are going through the roof because of it.
It's got to be expensive to operate though, because logistically you got to have it all set up. You have someone to, do the schedule, get the parts in there, get all this stuff ready so that, that it runs like a clock, when it, comes prime time in the morning.
It really isn't that difficult. We've had service advisors take over the mobile service role. They write the tickets the day before. They get the parts in the truck that night before, and we go. Obviously, if we have an emergency with a customer, then we can meet them at the customer's location with the parts and fix the car right there on the spot. And it works. It works every day. It works.
So if I called now to make a mobile appointment, if it was something fairly routine, not out of the, where you have the parts, let's say, what's the waiting time right now to get in?
2 days, not even. Sometimes we could do it the same day.
Okay.
We've had fleets call us up. Oh my God, I have 20 cars I was supposed to rent out, and I can't rent them out because they all have recalls on them. Well, when we're done with our retail customers, we could go there that night and do his 20 cars and be back on the road the following day.
And I heard like 70% of all the recalls that Ford has can be done on mobile units.
100%. And we're doing them.
So Sophie, good idea. What do you think, to have the ability to have that service performed at your house, not have to go wait in the customer lounge, rent a car, find out the service advisor didn't call you back, you don't know the status on it?
Yeah, no, mobile service is incredible. It's great what y'all are doing, especially post-COVID. I feel like too, we're kind of a generation of people that just don't like to leave. You got DoorDash, so all that stuff. You might as well have mobile service too.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Being from home.
Alan, how many units now altogether for?
We have 6 right now.
Are like some designated for your, as opposed to premise, or it's all 6?
We'll use them. They're through for all the stores. So we have 6 right now. I'm sure Jimmy's looking to get more. I know he is, but he hasn't made that announcement yet. But I'm sure that's coming up.
I'm sure it is. Michelle, yeah, I feel for you. You don't have that DoorDash or Uber Eats out where you are. Yeah, there you go, Linda. Right. And they are doing those pre-writes. Yeah. Independent mobile service company today. So why is Ford getting into this in such a big way, Alan? What's the reasoning behind it? Because I know they're incentivizing it now.
Yeah.
Why? What's the push?
You know what? I think they just want convenience. I mean, you're interrupting a customer's day when they have to come to you, regardless of what it is. If it's a first oil change, a recall, anything like that. Like you said, post-COVID, people want you to just come to their house. It's just easier. When I did mobile detailing, I would go to a customer's house. He would line up 17 cars for me. Here, Alan, detail all 17 cars. It worked for him. Instead of going to the car wash and waiting in a line for 3 hours to wash your car, think about how long it would take him to wash those 17 cars when I come right to his house and do them the same day. It's a no-brainer. And it works.
That is a no-brainer. Wow. So you're in that building was the Acura dealership when I worked there.
Yeah, it's a great place.
And I was right down the street. That was Richard Katina and Richard Redeker. And I was at the Ford dealership, which was relocated to where you are now. And we sold, because there had been, I think I probably mentioned this, there had been a fire there, right? And several firemen had died, right? And Ford erected these tents, one for sales and one for service. And we sold and serviced out of a tent, out of 2 tents. And they were nice tents, Alan, but they were like, and the sales one had carpeting, had offices, had radiant heat. The service one was pretty huge as well, but we sold at a tents there, and that was our motto, the low overhead. That's what we told customers. But that's how I learned about where you are on River Street, and what a great location that is. So
yeah, we're definitely busy.
I came from Fetty Ford on the highway on Route 46 and Route 3 in Clifton.
Yeah,
and by the time I got to Hackensack and I got to run the store, we outsold Fetty. So, it was pretty big at the time. So, okay, what else is on the horizon? What else is going on? Because I have a lot of friends there still. You mentioned Richie DeServo. I know Michelle. Is there Michelle Rogan? Jeff Rogan probably retired, I would imagine, by now.
See him every day. See him every day. He's still around. He comes around.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, what else is happening with Surface and with Ford? Are you doing any new stuff? Any new technology? Any new things in there that we need to be aware of?
I mean, the EV thing has gone through the roof. I mean, with the Mach-E's and the Lightnings, those cars are awesome. I mean, I actually just bought one. I just bought the Mach-E GT, and if you would ask me 6 months ago if I'd ever own an EV, I would tell you nope. And I just got one myself, and I love it. Absolutely love it.
And good evening, Tully. And I heard that it's really fast too.
Oh yeah, very fast.
So, what about the charging thing with the charging network and the range anxiety? Is that an issue?
No, not at all. I plug it into my house and I drive it during the day, and I come home and I plug it back in. I have no issues with it, none whatsoever. And I've had it now for about 4 months, and I love it. It's an awesome car.
Sarah Van Tyne is in the house. Good evening, Sarah. So, yeah, it is right. So you have a charger at the house. Okay,
Yeah.
Was that difficult to get done?
No, actually, I plug it into my 12 volt in my garage. They have like that little emergency packet that's inside the car. It charges it with no problems.
And you could do that all the time with no issues?
No problems. My electric bill hasn't gone up. I'm good. I'm happy with it.
Bob Tasca has a Mach, and he swears by the electric vehicle, and he's not only a dealer but a race car driver. He says that thing is so fast.
No, it's crazy fast. Crazy fast.
So, do you have certain technicians now who can only work on the electric vehicles? Or
yes, you have a few technicians that have to be EV certified. I think we have about 4 in our area in our store. We don't get that many of them. They really don't break down. I haven't seen that many breakdowns. I know the NYPD has a bunch of them. I don't see that many of them coming in. The only thing they come in for is tire rotations. That's basically it.
I was going to say, what are the service? What do they need? The service intervals are very different.
Yeah, I did my tire rotation at 1,000 miles. I said 1,000 miles. I'll do a tire rotation just because of the weight on the tires. I think you're supposed to rotate them a little quicker. It's an awesome car. I mean, I would rate that car up there with some $300,000-$400,000 cars.
Okay, well,
100%.
And the tires. Tell us about that, because of the weight of the vehicle. We're going to go through tires a lot quicker now.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, obviously, it weighs a lot, so I think tire rotations is going to be huge. Service wise, there's not a lot to do other than tire rotations, wiper blades. I mean, that's about it. Is it going to hurt our industry? Definitely not, because the gasoline engines they're going to be around for 25, 30, 40 years. Nobody's going to get rid of them. They're going to keep fixing them.
So, Sophie, where I live in New Jersey, there's obviously there's a lot of change and gas station chains, and we have a couple here. One is called Quick Check. Alan, I know you know that name. There's Wawa, which has been moving up the coast. So they have typically gas stations, and they have convenience and food and things like that, right? But I wonder, I'm looking at all these Wawas, Alan, that are going up all over, and I'm saying to myself, if it's going to all EV, what do they know that we don't know, that they're putting up all these convenience stores with gas?
Yeah, I don't know unless they're going to start flipping some chargers in the parking lots, which they might do. I mean, as a dealership, we have, I think, 4 or 6 of them at our stores for customers right now. So if a customer is driving down the highway and is low, they could pull into our dealership and charge up right there.
Is 4 enough for a big dealership like you?
I think so. I mean, you have the Garden State Mall that's right down the road that has a bunch of them too. So they're popping up. They're definitely, the chargers are coming up.
Do some words give us away, Sophie, that we're from New Jersey and New York, like mall?
Popping off.
Coffee mall, right?
Yeah.
Wawa.
while that Garden State Mall is pretty amazing, Alan.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, that thing is huge. I haven't been there in a long time. But it's right down the road.
We had Jim on the show, and the shopping there in Bergen County is second to none.
Yes.
All right. So, you ready to play some trivia?
Let's do it.
All right, because I think Sophie prepared some for tonight. So, is this going to be all Avengers based, Sophie?
Of course it is.
All right, so we're getting some help from the audience, everybody. So this is for the upcoming Avengers event. So, all multiple choice, and ready when you are.
On which planet was the Soul Stone ultimately discovered? A. Asgard, B. Vormir, or C. Titan?
All right, audience, you can go ahead and help us out on the chat. People like Alan and I may not know all the answers here. You could put A, B, or C. This is our first multiple choice question. What do you think, Alan?
I'm going to say A.
I've heard that before. I'm hoping Tony Owens knows some of these. So, all right, watch the movies. I know. Michelle. I know. Thank you for that.
You got a month, Ted.
Yeah, I still got a few weeks. So. All right, what is it, Sophie? Which one?
It is B.
Oh, Vormir. All right, one down. All right, number 2.
According to the comic book series, who were the original Avengers? A. Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, and Wonder Woman. B. Ant-Man, the Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, and the Wasp. Or C. The Hulk, Howard the Duck, Thor, and Black Widow.
Purely a guess, right? Oh, now here she comes, Allison, to the rescue. You going to see her this week, Sophie?
I am, Allison. Yes, later this week. Thursday, I believe. We'll have to chat.
Allison says it is A, Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, and Wonder Woman. I'm going to defer to Allison.
Yeah, I'm going to say A as well.
So it's actually B.
Oh. All right, we're not doing too well. All right, third question.
What is Captain America's real name? A. Buck Rogers, B. Fred Rogers, or C. Steve Rogers?
Wasn't Fred Rogers the one from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
I don't know.
Right. Michelle, help us out. You might know. Linda says B. Dixon Rodriguez says B as well. All right, Sophie, what do you got?
The answer is C. Steve Rogers.
Oh my gosh. Well, all right. We're not doing too well. All right.
Cool.
Michelle. All right. Fourth question.
What is the name of the mysterious glowing blue cube that Loki uses as a weapon? A. The orb, B. The tesseract, or C. The gauntlet?
I'm going to say A.
A, the orb. Because I've heard that phrase before. I'll go with A.
That must be from a different movie because from a different show. The answer is actually B. The tesseract.
Now, Sophie, are these easy questions that we should know, or are these more on the medium to hard level?
Tonight, I feel like I interspersed a few good ones tonight.
All right. Last one.
We'll say they're easy to make you guys feel a little better. Or we'll say they're hard to make you guys feel a little better. Okay. The last one is, which Marvel character has never appeared in the Avengers films? A. The Wasp, B. Hawkeye, or C. Scarlet Spider?
I'm going to say C.
Ted, what do you think?
Oh my gosh. Well, Alan hasn't had the greatest track record tonight, but maybe tonight, maybe now he does. So I'll go with what he says. See.
And you both are correct.
Nice.
Ending on a good note.
Purely luck. All right, everybody. So big Avengers event coming up. Fixed Ops Roundtable. We've got over 20 of these that we've done now. So this one is coming up when again, Sophie?
It is November 13th through 16th. You can get your complimentary tickets at fixedopsroundtable.com.
Yeah, we've got a great lineup, and you'll get to see all the folks who are on the screen here and a whole lot more. We've got some surprise guests, and we are busy putting that show together now. So look forward to seeing everybody there. Alan, great to have you on tonight.
Thank you very much, Ted. It was an honor to be here.
So we'll do some panels, and we'll do some stuff for the show.
Definitely.
All right. All right, Sophie. So when are we coming back? When? Wednesday? We got
We'll
show
be here Wednesday, along with all of you guys.
Yep, we got a big show on Wednesday. We have Julie Douglas from Dealer Pay and a whole bunch of people coming from Convenient Brands. So I think the screen is going to be very full on Wednesday night. So on behalf of Alan Bass and Sophie Jordan Collins and Michelle McLean, all right, thank you everybody for being here, and we will see you all on Wednesday.